live audio football commentary on the JB Claret YouTube channel. It's been a long time coming. The two teams are out onto the field. We've got Bournemouth tonight. We've got Bournemouth against Crystal Palace in what could be a real classic. Also, there's been other results. Brighton have beaten Arsenal 2-1. Watford have drawn 1-1 with Leicester City. And there are some of the other results from earlier today. And Wolves have won 2-0 at West Ham, which plunges them into a lot of trouble. But we're at a very empty Vitality Stadium. There will be crowd noise on as well. And English Sports is on. Hello, JB. Hello to you. It's nice to be back. Palace already out onto the field. There's Roy Hodgson. I just would like to say at this point, folks, thank you very much for being patient with us over the last 3 months. It's not been easy, I can tell you that. It is nice to be back, and it's nice to be back as well. We're gonna have added crowd noise tonight, give it that little bit of authenticity for you. But I just want to thank, when I'm not doing the commentating here on YouTube. When I'm not doing the commentary here on YouTube, I've been doing the key workers job for the last 3 months, and I've got to say, thanks to everybody who's supported me throughout, and I hope that support keeps coming thick and fast. It's always good when we get praise for what we do as key workers. There's no doubt about that. Of course, social distancing is still a very key factor in these occasions. Right, let me give you the team news then. Let's start with Bournemouth. Aaron Ramsdale will play in goal for the Cherries. He's really taken that goalkeeping spot his own. And then we've got a back four of Jack Stacey, Steve Cook and Nathan Aki, the captain. Stacey will play on, I think, on the right of the defence, and Adam Smith on the left. Harry Wilson will play on the right of midfield with Lerman and Lewis Cook, the two central midfield, and David Brooks making his first appearance of the season on the left. And it's up front Callum Wilson, number 13, and Josh King, number 7, who will lead the line for Eddie outside, who are currently in the bottom 3 of the Premier League table. Don't watch it on BBC Sport, watch it on JB Sport. Listen to it on JB Sports. Anyway, Palace line up with Vincent Gaeta in goal. Back four of Joel Ward on the right. Scott Dan and Gary Cahill, the two experienced centre-backs, and Van Arnold, the experienced left-back. 3 players in the midfield area with MacArthur on the right, Milivojevic in the centre. He also captures the side, and Kliati on the left. And 3 also up front. 3 also up front for Palace. I will play on the left of the 3, Benteke in the centre, and Will Sahar on the left. Let me run through the substitutes very quickly for Bournemouth. Quite a long list of substitutes here. Burrich, Goslin, Sermon, Solanke, Dajuna, Stanislas, former Burnley player, Rico, Kelly and Mepham. For Crystal Palace, we've got Hennessy, Maya, Townsend, Sacco, McCarthy, Tavares, Mitchell, Perrick and Riedewald. And we're going to have a minute's silence now for the in honour of everyone who's sadly died of COVID-19. And we're going to have a period of silence. Well, it is sad when you see people die of this horrible disease, key workers and officials alike. There's plenty of face masks around the ground. Very empty Vitality Stadium in reality. The referee today, Stuart Atwell of Nuneaton in Warwickshire, 37 years old, one of the younger referees in the top division. and it's going to be Crystal Palace in all white. Here's underway, attacking the goal to my right. And in fact, it's the first top flight game on terrestrial television since certainly on BBC since 1988. So we're up and underway then. It's great to be back. Live full match commentary of the Premier League, and it's Palace in his underway in those all white shirts. And let's just talk about football and nothing else for the next hour and a half or so. Here's number 2 for Crystal Palace, Joel Ward, over to the far side, and the ball hooked forward by Van Arnold, but Steve Cook rather can get it away. Lewis plays in the midfield. Russ is on as well. We'll obviously try and get your comments throughout the night as well, and Panini as well. He's on. And the first free kick of the game comes 40 seconds into the match for Bournemouth, which is going to be taken by Aaron Ramsdale. Has quickly run straight towards the ball and he's hoofed it right towards Josh King on the edge of the penalty area. Tried to lay it in there towards Harry Wilson. Big plus for Bournemouth really to have David Brooks in their side. Welsh international, and he's been sorely missed with injury, so it's a big plus for Eddie House to have him in the side lineup, because he's a tremendous player on his stage. This is King now on the ball. Now Brooks. What will be expected of him tonight? And then it's up forward there by Jefferson Lerma. Lerma gets it again on the near side, or the far side rather. And now Cook to Nathan Ake, just inside his own half. Now number 15 here, it's Adam Smith. King now just dropping into the midfield slightly in the opening exchanges of this first half. Cook getting it out wide now. No Ryan Fraser. His contract expires at the end of the month, and has made it quite clear to Eddie Howe that he doesn't want to play again for Bournemouth. So it looks as if Ryan Fraser played his last game way back in March. Lerma has possession on halfway. 2 minutes gone. Live on the JB Sports channel. Our new name for the new YouTube channel. No more JB Claret anymore. It's JB Sports from now on in. And it's good to be back. 3 months away. Twiddling the thumbs. But it's nice to be back doing the audio commentaries. And look at this, for a good run there by number 15, Adam Smith. That's what he's capable on that left-hand side. Adam Smith is a tremendous swelling runner. Now remember, in a previous meeting between these two sides, Crystal Palace, I think, won 5. There was a game won. Don't know who won it, but it was a 5-3 match. I think Palace might have won it 5-3. A tremendous game. It was a couple of seasons ago, and it was at Selhurst Park. It's a foul by Benteke on Lerma. Free kick to Bournemouth, about 5 yards inside the Palace half on the near side. Of course, as well as the live commentaries returning on my YouTube channel, don't forget we do have a Euro 2020 of a very different nature over on Trevor's Sports channel as well. When you've finished here and you haven't seen the game between Scotland and the Czech Republic, it's a virtual Euro 2020. It's been held in England as an homage to Euro 96, which has been replayed over the months that we haven't had any live football, and it's been inspired by that. And of course we should have been covering the Euros at this point in time this summer, but obviously that's been put back to next year. But what we will say is that there's going to be a lot of football in the next 18 months, and there will be some familiar voices coming back to the commentary box here on JB Sports, and maybe 1 or 2 fresh ones as well. And we'll give you some teasers about that and let you know near at the time. But it's me, JB, in the commentary box in the presenter's chair tonight on our return to live audio commentary after 3 and a bit months away. And it's a throw-in for Bournemouth. Far side on the edge of the box, in line with the edge of the box of Crystal Palace. They work it down that near side with David Brooks. Brooks again, good control, And Brooks showing his quality there and just failing to keep the ball in play. The ball's been smashed back into the back of the net, but the ball, as I said, had run out of play, and Russ will be coming back to the commentary. Russ, who's done 1 or 2 games for me this season on this channel, most notably that victory for Sheffield United against Arsenal. And it was now a few miles away in Brighton. There was a bit of there's been some shenanigans going on between Brighton and Arsenal, because Neil Maupay injured the goalkeeper Bernd Leno, and he had to be stretchered off, and because he didn't get a red card for it, he then stayed on to score the 95th minute winner for Brighton in a 2-1 win for the Seagulls, which is eased their relegation problems. And there was quite an altercation at the final whistle at the Amex between Maupay himself and several Arsenal players. I'm sure the Football Association will want to have a word or two there, as Palace with a free kick on halfway, just inside the Bournemouth half. But that's been that's probably been the standout result of the day. That's 2 defeats in 4 days for Arsenal. They were beaten 3-0 on Wednesday by Manchester City, with David Luiz, from what I saw, and an absolute stinker. This is James MacArthur now for Crystal Palace. Now Van Aanholt. Here he is now. Oh, good trickery, good skill. Ward on the chase there. Palace have looked an handy side on the road. They came up to Burnley early winter. Seems a long time ago now. Early winter, in 8 November, and stuck 3 past Burnley in a very dominant performance. It has to be said, they were wearing the same white shirts in those that day as well, if memory serves me right. Burnley played Manchester City on Monday, and as a Burnley fan, a key Burnley fan, it's not been too good a good week for the club. 5 players out of contract. Aaron Lennon is one of those who's leaving. Jeff Henrik and 1 or 2 others, Joe Hart being another, out of contract. This is Kiate into number 9 there. That's Jordan Ayew, but he's lost possession there. Jefferson Lerma takes possession in the midfield area, and it's been a good start here. Lewis Cook now going through the centre of the midfield here, and this break on the far side, but Van Aanholt doing some good covering there for Crystal Palace. Then Gary Cahill wins possession. Milivojevic will play centrally of the 3-man midfield that Roy Hodgson set up. He set up a 4-3-3, just like the formation in his England days, Roy Hodgson. Getting on a little bit now, 71 years of age now, Roy. I think the England job, for the 4 years he spent there, probably aged him quite a lot. And I hope you people listening at home, whether you're listening right now live or later on demand, because we will have a facility. We do have a facility to replay the game if you like to, and I soon might pop on at some point. But I hope you're all staying safe, and people that are on furlough and are self-isolating, please keep doing exactly that and stay safe. I do apologise. Then my mobile went off. I forgot to. What I do is turn it off, or turn the sound off when I'm commentating. I forgot it was turned up. Anyway, I've remedied that. Well, we've had nearly 10 minutes in the first half. No real opportunities so far for either side. But obviously, when the players have been away for 3 weeks, or for 3 months rather, they're bound to be a little wing rusty. But the good thing about it is it's still just to recap, this is the end of the 2019-20 season. next weekend in the hot sunshine in a very warm summer. We've got FA Cup quarter-finals. It's FA Cup quarter-final weekend, and then obviously the Premier League reconvenes. Every match is being televised live, incidentally, of the domestic season. There's been a full programme of championship action as well. We'll bring down the scores with them with you at half-time. And of course, we'll be checking in on what's been happening elsewhere in the Premier League as Will Saar breaks it in the area. Sahar shoots, and he goes over the top. He cuts in from the left-hand channel there, and just hits his right-footed shot just over the top of the Bournemouth crossbar, and a goal kick to the Cherries. Good running there. Got his shot off. I think it might have been a side-footed shot, laid in there by Milivojevic, or McCarthy rather, and over the top it went. And now Josh King going down the near side, but well cut out by Kiate. Now Ayew to Sahar again, running at Brooks. Brooks brings him down. Free kick to Palace, almost right on the edge of the area. Maybe you need to hit that notification bell, Panini. Of course, we've got a VAR. VAR, of course, that dreaded little word is in operation. Derek Eaton is our man at Stockley Park this afternoon, or this evening rather. Now then, free kick to Palace. It's Milivojevic, possibly poised with the left foot. It's about 23 yards to the left of the D. There's a 4-man Cherries wall. We've got 11.5 minutes gone. Van Arnold could be the right footer option, or the left footer option. It's Milivojevic, and he's in off the post. And Crystal Palace have made an extraordinary start to the game. It's Milivojevic. Aaron Ramsdale's beaten, and Crystal Palace have taken the lead. And Bournemouth, who are deep in that relegation mire, well, it's going to get even tougher for them now. Good right-footed free kick for Milivojevic. Did Ramsdale get a hand on this? Curls away. Oh, he gets a hand on it. Touches it onto the crossbar, but the pace of the ball has done him. I think Ramsdale should keep that out for me. Poor goalkeeping that by the youngster. And Palace have made the best possible start and lead 1-0. They have blocked the more lively side on the attack. Bournemouth really do need to get their fingers out and maybe get young David Brooks on the ball a little bit more. Well, 12 minutes of the game gone, and Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace, who started the day in 11th place, a win will take them above the likes of Arsenal and Burnley into the top 10. I have to say it was a super free kick. There's no doubt about that. A good side away from home, Palace. Not so at home, of course, it's ours, but anyway, here's Patrick Van Arnold. Swings it in, left-footed. And this time an easy catch there for Aaron Ramsdale from the left-hand side. And he's had a bit of an haircut since we last saw him 3 months ago. A shaven head, young Ramsdale. The two assistants, Konstantin Azazakis and Simon Long, the two assistant referees, or two linesmen in old money. And the fourth official this evening is Tim Robinson. So far, not really too much for Stuart Atwell to do as the referee. Adam Smith now down the left-hand side for Bournemouth, looking for a way back into this game, but the passage through to goal has been cut off, and they've had to go back to Wacky now. Steve Cook needs to inspire his team here as he hits a long ball forward, and it might find here number 17, which we got a number. I don't think we've got a number 17. Is it Jack Stacey? Well, Here come Bournemouth now. Stacey on the far side. Still 1-0 to Palace. Good atmosphere in amongst the, well, the crowd noise makes it for a good atmosphere, but I think Bournemouth really need to get their fingers out. Aki now to Cook. Stacey wears number 17, I think. But anyway, here's Nathan Aki once more now for Bournemouth. A goal down. I need to get Brooks on the ball. He's found Josh King. In towards Wilson. Tries to turn. And good defending this time. The experienced Gary Cahill. He's not one that gets turned too easily. Fast of experience. Burnley, Bolton, Chelsea, amongst the clubs that he's played for, Gary Cahill. Aston Villa initially. A young lad coming through the ranks at Villa Park. David Brooks to take the corner. Near side then for Bournemouth, who are 1-0 down. Milivojevic with the goal, and it's Brooks into the penalty area. Good defending by Palace. Smith wins the ball, then Brooks gets it back in from the left hand side, and a good header over the top in the end from Cameron Wilson. And a goal kick for Crystal Palace. Better from Bournemouth. And as I said earlier, they've got David Brooks on in a little bit there. And he put in a magnificent cross, quality cross here from the near side on the left hand side, and Wilson just couldn't keep his header down, and a goal kick it is. Of course, we'll try and get as many of your comments read as we possibly can. Keep commenting. I know Trevor and Chris will be coming back afterwards when they finish their broadcast of Scotland against the Czech Republic on Trevor's YouTube channel. I'll be giving that a watch a bit later on. Myself, after finishing the commentary of this game. There's a foul there. One of the Bournemouth players. Number 22, Harry Wilson. But of course, alongside the welcome return to full match commentaries here, live match commentaries, audio commentaries, we will be bringing back our resident man of the match competition in the second half. Our man of the match vote. The JB man of the match, and I'll just remind you when we get a break in play as King goes for the long free kick, and now Palace can break now forward again, and it's Jordan Ayew. Ayew now turns and just picks out Patrick Van Arnold, the evergreen left back. Before that, spent most of his career at Sunderland. 54% Bournemouth, 46% Crystal Palace, as Guaita gets the ball away just about. Joe Ward has possession for Palace on the right hand channel. Backing far side now to Milivojevic from Ayew. Now they're just working it to the left now a bit, Palace. Carfer now has possession, and Saha's cross looking towards Benteke, who's overdue a Premier League goal. And a shot from the edge of the penalty area from the Palace captain Milivojevic, right-footed, goes way into the stand. Row Z, I think. It's not quite a small ground here at the Vitality. If you hit it high enough, it'll go out of the ground. Just watching a rerun of the free kick goal. Let's put Palace into the lead. I do think Ramsdale should do better there. Of course, keep all your comments clean, by the way. Keep your comments clean, and we'll We'll put them out. Remember, there's 7 moderators at any one time on this channel, so let me just remind you, comments clean, everything above board. We are a family programme. We haven't heard from New Caton yet tonight, our resident Manchester United supporter. Of course, we'll bring you the full-time scores from the earlier games this evening. This is the last game of 4. It's been games played today at Vicarage Road, the Amex, and at the London Stadium. I can tell you that Watford and Leicester finished 1-1. Brighton beat Arsenal in a pretty feisty affair, shall we say, at the Amex, 2-1. That was the 3 o'clock kickoff. Then at 5:30, you may have saw West Ham beaten 2-0 by Wolves. Then they're giving themselves a really good chance of not just the Europa League football, but maybe Champions League football if they keep their act together. And here at the Vitality, Bournemouth leading Palace, or Palace leading Bournemouth by 0-0. And if I am a bit ring rusty, I do apologise. It's nice to be back on comms duty. It's always a pleasure to be with you all on a wonderful day. Beautiful sunlit afternoon it has been. Good weather up and down the country today. Very warm too, I must admit, although there's a bit of a breeze now on the south coast. As Will Zaha goes in there. That looks a bit of a blatant body check there by Lerma. And Zaha's gone down there. In fairness to Will Zaha, he didn't make a great deal of it or made the most of it. It was a foul, he was poleaxed. Don't think there was any doubt about that. He does have a reputation, Will Zaha, not to get penalty decision, because referees have sort of cottoned onto the fact that he does try to con them a little bit. Roy Hodgson is looking a little pensive here, even though he's side of 1 up. Not usual natural football weather. It's usually cold and wet, and it's on a December evening. A wet December evening. Not this day. It's almost paradise weather. It's almost like watching football abroad, really, in Spain or somewhere like that. It is a bit airy, this stadium at the moment, but we've got the crowd noise for a little bit of effect. Ronaldo playing the ball back in there, and a second one for Jordan Ayew from the edge of the penalty spot, or just by the penalty spot. Wonderful ball back across from the left hand side by Patrick Van Arnold, and Crystal Palace are taking Bournemouth even with this early stage. 23 minutes gone. Well and truly to the cleaners, and Bournemouth here are in massive, massive trouble. Zaha got the ball. Ronaldo had made a good overlapping run. He got into the byline, and just to the right of the penalty spot came Jordan Ayew, and Palace, who have looked so deadly on the road this season. As I said, they were ruthless against my team Burnley when they put 3 past the Clarets in last November. Well, they've done it again here. They're doing it to Bournemouth. They're tormenting Eddie outside. And the Cherries are in trouble. They're just taking a drinks break while we're talking at the moment, as it is quite warm down there. Well, Eddie Howe's got the troops together. He's not happy. Jason Tindall there with him as well. Roy Hodgson, I'm sure, will be very content. So there's a drinks break taking place at the moment. So 2-0 to Palace. And they've been very, very good, I have to say. And just to let you know, any more games, there will be more football on the JB Sports Network next week. Live commentaries. We will let you know. And of course we have our Facebook page, of course, www.facebook.com/JB Sports. Take a look at that. I will leave links for you to flip over there after commentary is finished. So Bournemouth are 2-0 down and are in a little bother. Well, not a little spot of bother, they're in big bother here. So 2-0 it is. Of course, Manchester United and Tottenham drew 1-1 in a feisty game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last night. Now here's Josh King on the break on the left-hand side for Bournemouth, who are needing to score the next goal. King tries the shot. It's a poor effort really from him. It's gone well wide and behind for a goal kick. Hey Trevor, don't tell me the score from the Scotland game, by the way, on your Euro biggie, because I'm going to watch that afterwards. Right, let me run through the substitutes for you. Quite a lot to go through, so I'll go through them quickly. This is Bournemouth. Burridge the keeper. Gosling, Sermon, Solanke, Dajuma, Stanislas, Rico, Kelly and Mepham. For Crystal Palace, it's Wayne Hennessy, Max Meyer, Andros Townsend, Mamadou Sakho, McCarthy, Tavares, Mitchell, Perrick and Riedewald, and some of them are sitting within a 2-metre distance, of course, which is the social distancing put in place by Boris Johnson and the Chief Medical Officer Chris Whitty when this pandemic did strike back way back in March. Yeah, it is 88 all over again. The difference is it's not Manchester, it's not the North London Army. It's there's more live football on the Beeb actually this week. They're going to be doing Norwich Everton, I think, at Carrow Road. And anyway, it's Josh King trying to get in behind, and again good defending. It's actually nice to get back behind the mic. I've been I've really enjoyed having I really enjoyed being back in the commentary group once again. It's always good to get back behind the mic, and even a commentator of my standing is a bit rusty after 3 months away. It's a bit surreal being back on radio commentary as opposed to doing a lot of the television stuff on Trevor's channel. But here's Adam Smith now down the left hand side into Josh King, still on the left hand side here for Bournemouth, and King cuts inside well. You'll still be able to hear me during the week on Trevor's channel covering the Euros as Trevor Motson. So don't forget to tune into that channel as well when we're not live. Trevor will be live every night of the week. David Brooks for Bournemouth, far side, the right hand side. And a throw in for Bournemouth who trail 2-0. Milivojevic and Jordan Ayew, the goal scorers for Palace. Roy Hodgson could go into the top 10 each side with a victory here tonight. They're going the right way about it. Trevor Gubbard's in the house. And I believe you've done a good job there, Trevor Gubbard. I just want to point out Trevor Tilsley, that's Chris Reitman, my old mate. of course, and my old LTF buddy, Let's Talk Football. We did a football previous show called Let's Talk Football once upon a time, and we were like sort of Saint and Greavesy of our time, and it's nice to see. It was nice to hear him back behind the microphone tonight. You may well hear him behind the JB1 sometime soon. Who knows? Adam Smith. Now then, can Lewis Cook inspire a bit of a Bournemouth comeback here as we go into the last 15 minutes of the first half here at the Vitality Stadium? Timing, of course, brought to you by Tag Oya, the official timekeepers of the Premier League. And here's Steve Cook. He did a long ball forward, but Stacey can't. Harry Wilson rather can't keep that in play. If I think you look at the two managers, Roy Hodgson has built a really good team, fashioned a good team. Well, whoever takes over for Roy, whenever that may be, it won't be. I don't think it'll be too long in coming. You've got to consider that Roy's now over 70 years of age, and of course the health does catch up with you when you get to the wrong side, I'm sure, of 70. As Adam Smith comes marauding forward on the left hand side, but at the moment his Palace team, Roy Hodgson and his Palace team, are doing him proud. David Brooks has been arguably Bournemouth's brightest spark so far. He gets the ball back again from Lerner, and then Lerner goes in for the third ball, and Lerner again gets the shot up, and it's over the top and behind for a goal kick to Crystal Palace with 31.5 minutes of the first half gone. Gary Cahill just down on his haunches there. It was actually a free transfer signing from Chelsea last summer, out of contract at Stamford Bridge. Lots of possible suitors. There was also rumours that Burnley were looking at making a move for him, but Palace got in there and snapped him up, and I think that's been an inspired signing from Roy. Whilst we've been away, there's been talk of Newcastle being taken over by the Arabs and all that, and it looks as if that deal is going to go through. There's a lot of talk that Newcastle could be a major force next season in the Premier League, should they stay up, of course. They've still got a bit of work to do to stay in the Premier League this season, of course. If they do that, then well, the world could be their oyster next season. Who knows? But they do have real confidence anyway. That is for certain. So Bournemouth find themselves 2 goals down. Keep commenting, and of course let me just remind you how you in case you've forgotten, because we have been away since March, the JB Man in the Match boat will be in operation later on. As soon as we get a breaking player, I will explain how you do it. Or maybe Russ can remember it. Let's see. Well, let me just tell you, when we go to what we normally do, for those who have never tuned in before, and I'm sure there's 1 or 2 of you have never tuned into our live matches before, live commentaries before, what we tend to do is open our own. What we try to do usually is to get a bit of talk on the chat sometimes, because it can get a little bit tricky at times, as Adam Smith just runs forward, and a good tackle there. He comes to Josh King, and Bournemouth win possession. We'll just break off for a second and just see this attack from Bournemouth out, and then explain more in a minute. As the ball is laid in there from Brooks towards Harry Smith, and he's lost possession. Brooks, in fact, wearing a plaster cast on his left arm. Now a chance for Stacey to get the cross in, deflected, and a corner. So around about the 60th minute mark, what I would like you to do is put the name of your player that you'd like to see win the JB Man of the Match award, our supplementary award, and hashtag it with the hashtag JBMOTM. JBMLTN. 3 months since I've said that, and it's nice to be able to utter that hashtag once again. Right, Bournemouth have a corner. They're 2 goals down, and it could do with this going into the back of the net. David Brooks, the Welshman, to take. Far side. Goes short here to number 16, Lewis Cook. Brooks again, far side. Deep cross this time towards Josh King, who peeled away. But Scott Dann this time stayed close to him and concedes a corner. The option will be taken on the near side this time. And it's going to be Harry Wilson to take. 2, 4, 5 Bournemouth players lining up in that penalty area. The ball breaks nicely here for Ward. Joe Ward wins the throw in for Crystal Palace. And lead by 2-0. Milivojevic and Jordan Ayew, the goal scorers here. Bournemouth starting the day in the bottom 3 in 18th position. Palace starting the match in 11th. But as things stand, we'll probably move into the top 10 with the results, so we'll give you the full league table at the end of the match. So we're inside the last 10 minutes before the break, and just to remind you, once we get to the half-time interval, we take a 10-minute break as we always do in our live streams, and then we'll come back about 5 minutes before the second half and bring you up to date what's been happening elsewhere in the Premier League and in the Championship. Here's Ward's cross from the right hand side looking towards Benteke, and a corner kick has been awarded to Crystal Palace on the far side. Now Palace would love a third one now. Ward casually playing that one in. It was nice weight on the cross, and Steve Cook had got the final touch, and now for a corner. It's nice to see that hashtag on our screen, that's for sure. Anyway, here's a corner then, and it goes from the far side. Not away yet. Benteke's right in there. How he could do with a Premier League goal. He hasn't scored one for a long time. The ball's on the roof of the net, but there's been a foul on a Bournemouth player. Gary Cahill, the offender. Free kick to Bournemouth, right on the edge of their D, which goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale will take. Had no chance with the second one. Could have done better with the first. Milivojevic, free kick. And no such problems for referee Stuart Atwell. No big decisions that he's had to make. The spar that's proved costly. Of course, we've had controversy since being back. There was that Hawkeye incident at Aston Villa on Wednesday, which had Chris Wilder reaching for the puns. He said that Doughboy was knocking around Villa Park somewhere after that, but his team had been conned out of 3 points there at Villa. That was for sure, and of course Aston Villa, that could be a crucial point for them. Brighton have given their relegation escape chances a power ago with their victory this afternoon. A feisty one against Arsenal, worth watching I think later on Match of the Day on BBC One at its usual time. I think it's 10:30. You can see Match of the Day. This is Will Sahar now on the left hand side, just cuts inside a little bit there. Will Sahar does well. MacArthur has it now left hand side, and the ball back to Van Harnout. He's got the blonde mop of hair on top, which you can describe it. Do I want Danny Drinkwater? No thank you. I think Villa can keep him as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, here's Guaita. One kick forward and looking towards Benteke, who flicked it on, and Ayew was in pursuit, and now he's in pursuit of Adam Smith, and in fact Ayew and Smith just having a little set to there. He's got to be careful, really. Doesn't want to talk himself into any trouble here. Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 2, live here on the JB Sports YouTube channel. Live audio commentary of the Premier League. Fortnite fan is on. Hello, JB says. Hello, Fortnite fan. Are you a new subscriber? If you are, thank you for joining us. And if you want any more of these type of videos during the summer, hit that notification bell, please, sir. Meanwhile, it's Bournemouth 0, Palace 2. With 5 minutes of the first half remaining. And here is Nathan Ake. Long ball forward by him up towards Callum Wilson, and the ball hooked away by the defender. It will be a corner. Came off Patrick Van Arnold. So a corner kick then to Palace. Can they produce something very special? Bournemouth from this corner get themselves back in the hunt with 5 minutes before plus stoppage time for the break. Now they could do with something here from young David Brooks. Brooks runs forward, takes the corner far side, and he's floated in there. There was a header one. I think it was a Palace head who got on that. Aki's down on the ground on the floor, and New Caton is on. New Caton, good argument to you. Yeah, it's been 3 months. It's been 12 long weeks as Nathan Ake just has taken a ball on the back of the head. Let's have a look. There was a little coming together with Scott Dan there. And I'm sure the VAR boys would have had a look at that. Although, I must say, there have been in the record of Syndham Gibbon. But anyway, on Bournemouth get is a corner. Brooks to take. Far side. It's another wasted long one. Luke Caton's gone for a 3-0 Crystal Palace victory. Now, tell me the truth, Caton. Did you predict that at the start? It feels weird with no crowd. Well, we've got the crowd noise on our coverage just to give you that little bit of a feel, a nice a match day feel, if you like. I think it'd be nice to get him if we could. He's a good player, William. He'd do well for a club like Burnley. I think the problem would be his wage packet. It's too high for a club like ours. What you've got to remember is Burnley's a small town club, and players like William want to play in the big, brighter cities like London and Manchester and places like that. Anyway, there's a little bit of a set to going on the far side with Will Saha. Now that would be a turn. That would be the turn up of the century, Trevor. Meanwhile, Harry Wilson has been fouled by Will Saha. That's what could be the thing. Now Trevor reckons he's got a form of currency that might help. Oh, we've missed this banter on this YouTube channel. Yeah, no, I think that's a good logical reason there, New Caton. And Palace, as I said earlier, I don't know if you heard me say earlier that they went to Burnley earlier on in the season, way back in, I think it might have been late November. Oh, Trevor Bonds, that's the one, Trevor Bonds. Let's just break off for a second because David Brooks is about to take a free kick here. Brooks sends the ball into the penalty area and it's way over hit and beyond everybody and behind for a goal kick. It could do with It could do with David Brooks really getting into the game a bit more. He has been the more brighter player of the Bournemouth players at the moment, but as I said, it's been a little bit disappointing, Brighton. We can see the 2 sloppy goals. Well, the free kick was sloppy defensively, and the goalkeeper should be down at fault for that goal. I think Ramsdale should have kept that one out. Here's Ayew on the break. He got the second one, of course, tapping in from 12 yards from the penalty spot. And now Lewis Cook, and another foul here. Yellow card given. It was Lerma who went down there, and who's got the yellow card? I'm trying to work it out. Stuart Atwell now has got a little bit of work to do. We're going to the final 30 seconds of normal time here. Kiati That's the man who brought him down on halfway. No problems, Newcating. It was Jordan Ayew, sorry. It was folks, it's been confirmed with me on the television monitor. But it's nice to have everyone, the old regulars, back, and I hope everyone stays safe. And remember, Ayew has just been booked there. He's just found another player there, number 15, Adam Smith. And I think Stuart Atwell has made a little bit of a mental note. One more, son, and you're off. And this is not what Palace need at this stage, because they're 2 goals up and they're coasting here. And a red card against them would spur Bournemouth surely into life. Lerma gets possession. We're into 2 added minutes, for which we're into 20 seconds into the first of them. How they need to get people like David Brooks on the ball now. This is Lewis Cook, one of the 2 central midfielders. The ball pulled back and it's a corner kick. Better from Bournemouth as the second half comes into being, or as the last few seconds come into being. It was Jack Stacey with a run, and behind for the corner, and it goes towards the penalty area. And here goes Wolf Zaha, that tricky little customer. Ayew's making a good run ahead of him, and the referee has brought the game to a halt again. And the bookie's out straight away. Yellow card. It was Wolf Zaha who was fouled here. And it was Adam Smith who brought the man down. So Adam Smith will be the second player, the first from Bournemouth, along with Jordan Ayew, for Palace into the referee's notepad. 30 seconds of the 2 minutes to go. And then we'll be taking that 10-minute break, as I was mentioning earlier. And then we'll be back with about 5 minutes before the second half with all the catch-up on all today's results from around the country in the Premier League and the Championship. Of course, the Scottish League is now curtailed for the season, so we can't bring you any more Scottish scores, which is a shame, really. Not the idea of saying Hamilton Academicals and Queen of the South and a few other teams like that, but never mind. And there goes the whistle, and the end of the first half, and it's Crystal Palace who lead. Milivojevic got the first one from a free kick, which will go down as a goalkeeping error, really. I think Ramsdale should have tipped that over the bar, and then Ayew making it 2-0. And really, it's been plain sailing, really, for Crystal Palace in a lot of respects. So we're going to take a 10-minute break here at the Vitality Stadium with the scoreline Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 2, and we'll be back with all the scores from around the country in about 10 minutes time. Stay with us, don't miss out, and we'll see you in 10 minutes at the Vitality Stadium. See you in a moment. Welcome back to the Vitality Stadium. As you know that Liverpool Bournemouth for 2-0 down against Crystal Palace. Hopefully on Wednesday night, all being well, we might be able to bring you live coverage of Liverpool. If they win their match against Crystal Palace on Wednesday, they could be champions of England. So we're going to check whether that's feasible next week for you, and if it is, we'll bring it to you live. And yeah, we will be able to bring that possibly to you live as well. So that could be one of our live matches as well. Anyway, let me first of all give you a brief check on what's been happening in the world of football today, certainly in England. Anyway, let me get you going here. First of all, we'll wrap up the Premier League score lines from up and down the country. So let's check the Premier League before we do the Championship. So Watford. So at the moment, these are the scores from today, up and down Europe. So let's start with the Premier League. Watford 1, Leicester 1, Brighton 2, Arsenal 1, West Ham 0, Wolves 2. Currently our match is 2-0 to Crystal Palace over Bournemouth. In the Championship, it finished Fulham 0, Brentford 2 in the West London derby. Middlesbrough are on the verge of possible relegation, beaten 3-0 at home by Swansea. Millwall 2, Derby County 3, Blackburn 3, Bristol City 1, Huddersfield 0, Wigan 2, Hull 0, Charlton 1, Luton 1, Preston North End 1, QPR 0, Barnsley 1. QPR 0, Barnsley 1, Reading 1, Stoke 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and West Brom 0, Birmingham 0. In the Bundesliga, Cologne 1, Frankfurt 1, Mainz 3, Werder Bremen 1, Bayern Munich 3, Freiburg 1, Schalke, Bayern Munich already champions of course, Schalke 1, Wolfsburg 4, Dusseldorf and Augsburg 1-1, Hertha Berlin 2, Bayer Leverkusen 0, Red Bull Leipzig 0, Borussia Dortmund 2, the big game there. Paderborn 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 3, and Offenheim 4, Union Berlin 0. In the La Liga, 3 games already played. Espanyol 1, Levante 3, Atletico Bilbao 1, Real Betis 0, and Getafe 1, Eibar 1. There is another game tonight, that's at 9 o'clock. British time, that's between Atletico Madrid and Real Valladolid. And we'll bring you all the other scores later because we are now back live with the second half. Both teams are out onto the field, so we'll run down the scores. There's a substitution, I think, at half time, I think. We'll get that confirmed in a second. But the crowd noise is back. And can Bournemouth now, who trail 2-0 as we go into the second half here at the Vitality Stadium, to Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace. Can they find a way back into this? Josh King to get us underway, number 7. Bournemouth in red and black stripes, attacking the goal to our right now in the second half, and Palace all in white to the left. 2 goals cleared at Milivojevic. Goals from Milivojevic and Jordan Ivey, sorry, has given Palace that 2-goal buffer, and away we go. Oh, we've got a false start here. I think 1 or 2 players are encroaching as the kickoff was taken there by King. And take 2, and we're back up and running again. So away we go then. Bournemouth, 45 minutes away from another bad defeat here. Remember, 18th position they were at the start of play here tonight, and how they could do with a win. No changes incidentally from either side as we go into the second half here, and of course we'll have the JB Man in the match vote in a little while as day quickly turns to dusk here down by the seaside. Of course, Bournemouth is quite a number of famous seaside resorts, and of course it's one of 3 seaside towns to have hosted Premier League football. Currently themselves and Brighton are hosting it, and of course Blackpool way back in 2010. One of the very first seaside town to host top flight Premier League football in that era. And they're still in League One at the moment. Let's recap the Bournemouth side with Ramsdale in goal. Stacey, Cook, Aki and Smith across the back. Stacey in fact wears 17 as opposed to 18. Jajuma is on, and as well for Bournemouth, there's a Bournemouth player gone down there, Josh King. Gaeta in goal for Palace. I don't know who, and I just want to get Russ, if you can find out who Danjuma has replaced, Russ, that would be fantastic. Meanwhile, Josh King is injured. Nothing wrong with the tackle there by Gary Cahill. Palace unchanged from the first half. Gaeta, Ward, Van Arnold, Milivojevic, Dan, Kiate, Ayew, Saar, Benteke, MacArthur and Gary Cahill are their 11, and Bournemouth have already used the substitute in the first half. And in fact, serious foul play, yeah. Red card, VAR involved. Gary Cahill now. Well, I have to say, he gets the ball for me, Cahill, but it's the follow-through that's endangering an opponent. Now, in these current climates and in these current rules, you could say that was a red card offence. So they are checking a possible red card here, VAR. I'm a police report, meanwhile, away from it all. Josh King is up on his feet and should be okay. And, well, look at that. Well then, they're checking the red card at the moment. Nothing's come up on the big screen at all. Well, Gary Cahill will be sent off. Stockley Park looking for it. Derek Eaton is our man in charge here. I'd like to get Panini's view on that. Was it a red card? Let's keep your comments clean, of course, as we wait to find out what's happened here. And the decision is no red card and no serious foul play, which will anger Josh King, I'm sure, but could have broken the lad's leg, I suppose, but he did get the ball, Gary Cahill, to be fair. And Josh King is going to be replaced, in fact, by Solanke. So Bournemouth forced into a second substitution. Dominic Solanke, an expensive white element, some would say. Expensive sort of signing. Hasn't really hit the ground running as poor Josh King makes his way down the tunnel. And the Beeb have put so much effort into the game, they've even put a camera inside the dressing rooms. That's that's a novelty. Something I don't think Sky have ever thought about doing. So there might be a bit of chunk of stoppage time, that is for sure. Ball out of play for a throw-in. Now can Bournemouth rally now, having lost 2 key players here. Ball in there towards Wilson. And tucked away once more. It's going to be that issue, of course, with David Brooks as well. Certainly with the fitness levels that he possesses. Here he is now on the ball now, near side. Back inside again from Jefferson Lerma. Again, decent football this from the Cherries. But I need something now. And Smith is stolen in again now for Bournemouth. Lerma might line it up with his right foot. And good block there by Scott Dan. Hit that well. Chelsea 2 bro reminiscing about a Zenith Data Trophy victory. Tony DeRigo. 52,000 Chelsea fans there. That was a long time ago. Going into the present now, and here's And here come Bournemouth. No foul. Aki told to get up straight away by the referee Stuart Atwell. I'll have to say he's refereed it pretty well. Any decisions that he's felt deemed for the VAR to get involved. That's done. Russ, can you just check that half-time substitution for me? Usta Jr. just replaced. Is it... can you just find out who replaced him, please? Anyway, here's Stacey now for Bournemouth. Russ is our mole down on the touchline as well. He doesn't do one job for me, he does two jobs for me. He's also our mole down on the benches, and of course a very valued member of our commentary team. It was Harry Wilson. Well, that clears that one up. Thank you, Russ. Russ again, the man on the spot as ever. Shot comes in and it's wide this time from Lewis Cook. Right footed drive from just outside the penalty area. Goal kick to Crystal Palace, who still lead 2-0. So we're going to the 52nd minute of the game. We're into the 7th minute of the second half. And it's 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Both goals incidentally coming in the first half. And I have to say, I just want to go from a personal point of view. Well, we've got an opportunity to say this. I just like to say, from a personal point of view, yeah, we covered that one, Russ. RV Media Sports, check out his channel. He does live commentaries when I'm not there. Give his channel a try as well. And of course Trevor Sports, and of course we've also got on Chris's channel, we've got the Kiwami Legends Trophy as well. Teams of old, of every generation taking part there around Europe and the world. Me and Chris Whiteman commentating on that, and give that a try as well. Get some viewership and some descriptions for him as well, please. They're all good channels, every one of them, Trevor Sports especially. Right, back here on the JB Sports YouTube channel, live, uninterrupted. We're back live with you now. Sorry about that. The microphone went. We lost sound there. The commentary position we got here at Bournemouth is horrific. It's a small ground, and we're still getting. Doesn't get too many. We don't get too many. We don't get too many things there. That's. I think you're pretty bad at dreaming. I think that's a bit harsh. A lot of people, I don't know if it's dreaming or streaming, I think you're trying to say, but I think an experienced streamer of 300 different live streams, I think I'm not too bad. It's the first one I've done in 3 months, for heaven's sake. Just give me a break. Anyway, it's Palace leading by 2-0. I'll be making a note of that Milo channel. 2-0 to Crystal Palace, and they're looking a very good bet now for 3 points, unless Bournemouth can get back into it. And here's Wilfried Zaha. Zaha now running into a little bit of space here. And now MacArthur just knocking the ball back, just seeing what's on. Once again, back once more. It's an important stage of the game now. If Bournemouth were to get the next goal here, it would really put them the can amongst the pigeons. Here's Aki coming forward now for Bournemouth, and here's a turn there by Lerma. And just remember, any slanderous comments that you do get, just remember, we want good banter on this channel. Anyway, back to the game now, and it's 2-0 still. Trevor Sports says, who wants to make a bet that this finishes 4-4? 10 Trevor Bond says he doesn't end 4-4. Anyway, here come Bournemouth now, entering the penalty area. Good turn again. Good tackle. Gary Cahill, that man again. The man for the big occasion. Spot on again. In fact, it wasn't. It was Joel Ward. I apologise. I do also. The trouble is, I don't cover these two sides often enough, so forgive me for being a little bit punchy with these two. And of course, I haven't commentated for 3 months on a live stream of this importance, so forgive me for that. Here's Callum Wilson, right hand side, cuts in field once again. Remember, the JB man of the match will be coming into being at around about the 60th minute mark, so get your thinking caps on for potential man of the match votes, and then all you've got to do. Let's see if I'm going to remember this and try and get it here. Here is what you've got to do. You've got to try and pick the name of the player that you think will win our supplementary award. You make the vote. You put the name of the player. And it's important that you hashtag it JBMLTM, because if you do that, the vote will count, and the player who gets the most votes from us, or from you, the guys, at the end of the 90-minute mark will win our award, supplementary award. Anyway, here's Stacey making a good break, the man they got from Luton Town, and a corner kick off Pat Van Harnout. So a corner kick now for Bournemouth. Now, can they get back into this game? Yeah, Dennis Irwin. A lot of people don't know that he played for Oldham as well in the 1990 Littlewood Spinal. Anyway, back with the game, and it's David Brooks, the Welshman, with a corner into the penalty area. Heading out once more, and in comes that young lad, Jack Stacey, wearing number 17 as opposed to 18. That was given to me on the Bournemouth team sheet. That was an error on their part. Stacey breaks into the penalty area, but once again, James McArthur, good strong defence, and shepherds it behind for a goal kick. Oh, it's a nice sunset going over Bournemouth tonight. Not so for Eddie Howardy's side. The storm clouds, in a footballing sense, are gathering over this little ground here. Remember, they started the day in 18th place in the Premier League table, and now could be looking down the barrel of another defeat. I was listening to Alan Shearer at half time, and he really laid in, not Roy Keane style, but laid in his own Geordie way, that Bournemouth haven't been good enough, and I think that has been the case. And now David Brooks is limping. Looks like he's holding his right leg here. Remember, David Brooks has just come back to fitness during the 3-month layoff for COVID-19. I don't know whether it's just cramp or another injury has reoccurred. He's a terrific player, but he's okay. He's seen the funny side about it. I think he's just picked up cramp. But they are relying on him too much, I feel. And Ian Wright and Alan Shearer on television made the point that he can be excused because he hasn't played, and they're putting all the ropes on him, and that's a lot of pressure to ask of a young 20-year-old in David Brooks. And I think, with all due respect to Bournemouth, he's bound for much bigger destinations than the one he's at now. This is Milivojevic now playing the ball back. It's 2-0 to Crystal Palace here. Both goals coming in the first half. Milivojevic with a free kick, and Jordan Ayew from 6 yards. Oh, KO there with a dodgy back pass, but just had enough purchase on it. Referee's blown for something there. I can't tell what it was. What it does do is give Bournemouth a chance to play their final hand, and off comes David Brooks. So it looks as if his race is well and truly run, with 60 minutes gone, and you can now start voting, incidentally, folks, for your Man of the Match award. So all you've got to do, basically, guys, is pick the name. You put the name of the player that you think should win our Man of the Match vote, and hashtag it with the hashtag JBMRTM. David Brooks now off the field, and of course the substitutes now, as you probably see on television, if you're listening to the commentary and watching along on television, are now going to stay more than 2 minutes apart from each other. Oh, in the name of social distancing to stave off the good old COVID-19. But here is MacArthur. And here's Ayew far side. Ayew knocks the cross back in. And Benteke was lurking again. He's trying his heart out, in fairness. We've had an hour. And the timing of the Premier League is supported by Tag Heuer, who are, of course, the official timekeepers of the Premier League. A little bit of free advertising for Tag Heuer. Meanwhile, back on the football field, Nathan Ake hits a long ball forward up there towards Dominic Solanke. Here's Solanke once again. Luka Milivojevic is the man of the match that Bruce wants to say for Crystal Palace, and that counts as a vote because he's hashtagged it JBMLTM, and everyone else, likewise, you can do the same. Right, corner kick. Are we going to see a turnaround in fortunes? Stanislas is now on as well as that corner comes in, and a header by Ake. Now it's well saved, and Ake is injured again. Now what's happened here? Ake is down injured, and it looks as if he's holding his face. I wonder if the ball's hit him in the face here as that ball came in. Maybe a little clash of heads. I don't think you could be amazed if this went to VAR. Yeah, it could have been just an accidental collision there of heads, because Gary Cahill was involved too. Bournemouth, of course, have used all three of their substitutes, and if they were to lose Nathan Ake here, it'd be cut to 10 players voluntarily. Won the header well, though, in fairness to Ake. 2 votes for Luka Milivojevic at the moment for Crystal Palace. We hope to have Liverpool versus Palace for you on Wednesday night in a game that could potentially give Liverpool the title. We'll confirm that later, early next week for you. Going to see a Crystal Palace substitution in a second. Number 22, which is McCarthy. Once again, we're in the middle of a drinks break with 64 minutes gone. Fourth official, Tim Robinson. You may see, if you've got a monitor in front listening to the commentary of my game, is Luka Milivojevic, who's got 2 votes for our Man of the Match award. Supplementary Man of the Match award. We'll also give you the verdict on who actually won the Television Man of the Match award as well. Well, it's been a routine performance from Roy Hodgson's men. 72 years old now, Roy. Ake is off the field for treatment. May well be rejoining us later. So 25 minutes left to go. As we see an overhead camera shot of a picture postcard scene here, but It's not picture postcard at the moment for Bournemouth, who are 2 goals down and are in deep relegation trouble. Trailing Crystal Palace here by 2-0. Offside. Free kick for Bournemouth as Palace look to try and wrap this up. Aki has rejoined us now. Into the 66th minute of the match. It's Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 2. It's been an ebb and flow sort of game. Palace have looked good on the break. Bournemouth have tried. They just haven't been able to shake off there. And a yellow card for one of the Bournemouth lads. And a little bit of afters there. Trying to work out who was injured there. It was Jordan Ayew. And it was Lewis Cook. And yeah, whilst I'm doing all the donkey work, Russ has been on the pull down on the bench. He's been speaking to Alex Scott. I'm only joking, Russ. Alex Scott is here tonight for television. Bournemouth holds a lot of happy memories for Panini's father and mum. Apparently they met at Bournemouth way back in the mid-1960s, probably around the time England were winning the World Cup. And Russ laughing his head off at that little comment there. Well, I've been doing the hard graft. Russ has been on the pull. Yeah, he's a good little looking. He's a fine looking fellow, is our Russ. Whereas I'm just a face for radio. Halfway through the second half, it's Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 2 in the Premier League. Our first match back after 3 months, and Bournemouth are on the attack, and the shot goes wide of the target. And a goal kick now. Well, we haven't. Well, yeah, because it's an early kick-off, I think that might be a better option for you. And then, of course, we'll have that big one on Wednesday night. Norwich Everton may well be Russ's game now. You can actually see that on BBC Two at 5:30, apparently. But and of course, there's a midweek version of Match of the Day. Alan Shearer and Danny Murphy are the 2 guests. Social distancing all. Of course, we've had. It's not the only sporting event that's been taking place this week. The return of the Premier League. We've also had Royal Ascot. Good old Frankie Dettori having a few winners down in Berkshire's very fine racetrack. Just like the presence of a crowd in the Her Majesty the Queen. Of course, we'll also bring you as well later on in this season the climax of the Championship playoffs. And we brought you some magnificent semi-finals and final last year, which Aston Villa won. That brilliant semi-final. I remember over 2 legs between Villa and West Brom was one of the best playoffs, 2-legged semi-finals I think I've ever covered in 4 years of doing this. Russ is off to South Wales to cover Cardiff Leeds. Leeds, of course, going for the title under Bielsa, although they've been knocked off the top of the Championship standings by West Bromwich Albion, despite drawing 0-0 at Birmingham this afternoon. Local rivals across the city in the second city. It would be a brave man to back against either of those two to be the top 2, I think, going forward into the Premier League, although some big teams there could be fighting it out. Some sleepy giants could be finding it out in the playoffs. Nottingham Forest amongst them. And here come Crystal Palace now on the counter-attack. And Jordan Ayew trying to take on one player too many as he went there. And of course, Wales-Switzerland is Trevor's next live match. And of course, you'll be hearing plenty of me on Trevor Sports in the next week. Not only are we doing real life football on here, I'm part of Trevor's crack commentary team, the best commentary team in the business. Myself as Trevor Motson, Trevor himself as Trevor Davis, Russ, of course, you know, as Trevor Gubber. As we see that tackle again by Ward on Smith, which is one Bournemouth a free kick, and Joe Ward a booking. 19 minutes to play, free kick. And of course, Chris Whiteman, CW, is Trevor Tilsley. Free kick taken short here in towards Lewis Cook. Now, what can Bournemouth do here? No. David Brooks on the field now. It's a corner kick to the Cherries. We've got 19 minutes to find a way through. And Barrow, of course, they're returning to the Football League after 48 years. Well done to them. In the ball goes again. Let's come away once more. It's been an amazing... It's going to be an amazing one for live and virtual football, not just here, but on Trevor Sports as well. So you will get a European Championship of quite a good description. Meanwhile, whilst we're talking about that, there's another foul there, this time by number 19, Junior Stanislas, the former Burnley player, fouling Jordan Ayew on right in front of me here on the near side. Palace 2 goals ahead. Sometimes it's a little expression amongst commentators that a 2-goal lead is a pretty precarious and dangerously, but I have to say Crystal Palace, the game management has been absolutely first rate today, this evening. I think they've really put on a very good professional display, and I think Bournemouth, without being disrespectful, could have done with the crowd being here tonight, because obviously the 12th man and all that. Yes, you've missed 2 Crystal Palace goals, a free kick by Milivojevic and a sumptuous volley by Jordan Ayew from the penalty spot area. And here come Palace again. KO on the volley inside the penalty area. It's it over the bar and a goal kick to Bournemouth, who have really been, frankly, very, very disappointed. Manono's free kick into the mix once again. It felt nicely to KO, who caught the volley. All wrong. In fact, good header one there by Benteke, and Eddie Howe will be fuming, because his team have been second-raters in every department tonight. Palace have won every first and second ball when they've attacked, and have defended really well tonight. Very impressed with Crystal Palace, and they could be moving within 2 points of 5th place. Now, depending on what the Court of Arbitration do with Manchester City, if they ban Manchester City, then 5th place tantalisingly becomes a Champions League spot, because you've got Sheffield United in the mix, you've got Wolves in the mix, Manchester United in the mix. Even Burnley have got an outside chance of a European spot should they have a good run towards the end of the season. Of course, there's Bob Hope or no hope as a realistic climate to get anything from Manchester City on Monday night, but you never know. We didn't think we'd get anything from Old Trafford in January, and we won 2-0, so anything could happen. And we may well be covering that on Monday night. We'll let you know again in due course whether that will be the case. Tomorrow's a big one for Sue. It's the local Merseyside derby. Now, Liverpool cannot win the title, I'm told, tomorrow, but they can win it on Wednesday night against Crystal Palace, and we will have that game hopefully for you. It's still 2-0 to Crystal Palace, incidentally. And of course, Milivojevic is leading our man of the match vote. And you've still got a quarter of an hour, incidentally, to vote for that man of the match award of ours. All you got to do, name the player and hashtag it with the hashtag. You know it by now. You should know it by now. JBMLTM. And your vote will count. Luka Milivojevic is leading that award, thanks to votes from Russ. I've reported out on the touchline, and Panini, our VAR man, with a quarter of an hour to go. The timing of the Premier League, sponsored, of course, by Tag Oya, the official timekeepers of the Premier League, as Andros Townsend comes on to replace Christian Benteke. No goal for him, but he's worked very hard and deserves the rest of the evening off. Done really well. No goal, but been really good fun. Really enjoyed that. Absolutely anonymous. Nice to see you again. Good to have you back. Hope you're well. I am very well, thank you. I had a COVID test early this week. As my day job, I am actually a key worker. So it's when I'm not commentating, I'm a key worker in real life, and for my day job. And my COVID test came back very, very negative, and I was pleased about that. I won't be able to do it tomorrow soon because work is knocking on the door, so I'm working a night shift tomorrow where I'm working at the moment, so there'll be no chance of me, I'm afraid, doing that. I'm sorry to say. But hopefully we'll do the match at Anfield against Crystal Palace on Wednesday as a sort of a consolation, as Solanke goes in there, one of the substitutes for Bournemouth, for one more forward. I just haven't been able to penetrate the Crystal Palace defence throughout the 76 and a bit minutes that we've been playing. 77 now, actually. And of course, we'll be bringing you the thrills and the spells of the relegation battle. This is a relegation 6-pointer. Certainly for Bournemouth, then it is for Palace, of course. Palace looking to win for other reasons, and they're doing just that now. Here's Stacey trying to wiggle his way into the penalty area. Keeps the possession well and keeps it going there for Bournemouth. Stanislas in the area. Junior Stanislas tries to turn and his shot goes wide. Hits it left-footed and wide of the left-hand post and a goal kick. Absolutely anonymous says, thank you for your service. Key workers are the backbone of the nation. I'll second that. Don't forget the roadmen and road workers, the bin men and the road sweepers. Big respect. Despite the fact that they hold me up going into work and travelling around the country for my own channel and for Travis Sports. Roadwork's going to be a right pain in the neck, I tell you. Right, anyway. 78 minutes gone. It's still 2-0 to Crystal Palace if you've joined us late. Both goals coming in the first half from Milivojevic and Jordan Ayew. Has been a VAR decision that was in favour of Gary Cahill. There was a possible red card shout for serious foul play, but Derek Eaton, our VAR referee down at Stockley Park, decreed that that was not the case, and Cahill was allowed to stay on the field. And he said that he did get the ball, but it was a little bit of a dangerous one there, but that incident came in the second half, early in the second half. But it's been a good performance, good professional performance thus far from Crystal Palace. As we see Alex McCarthy on the ball now for Palace. And Ayew touches the ball back, and Palace come again lightning quick on the attack. And that's going to deflect behind for a corner off number 15, Adam Smith. Yeah, it's good. I had a test done on Tuesday. Got me results back within 48 hours. It was pretty good. I was quite pleased. Anyway, it's the 10th corner. Both of our 10 corners. Palace are on their second corner, but lead by 2-0 in goals. And Pat Van Arnold to take. Gary Cahill has now taken the captain's armband, incidentally, from Milivojevic. With 10 minutes just over to go. Here comes the corner, far side in towards the near post. Flicked on again, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Yep, no rest for us key workers, Sue. And it's good to have you with us, and some of your videos have been really good as well. The dreaming videos. If you haven't subscribed to Sue's channel and you want something a little bit of a different pace from football and sport, Sue's your lady. She's a very good singer as well, and she has these nice dreams as well that she puts out, or she did put out for a little while on YouTube. And if you haven't seen them, give them a watch, and I appear in one or two of them apparently. It's nice to know that I'm always in a lot of people's thoughts here on YouTube. Meanwhile, back to the game here. It's 2-0 to Palace, but Bournemouth on the attack. And it's Callum Wilson who breaks into the penalty area, tries to hook the ball back towards number 14, which is Gemma. But he can't be found. And here's young Jack Stacey, young lad signed from Luton Town, who impressed in promotion from League One last season. Yeah, into his second spell at the club, and the Bournemouth fans, I've just seen pictures of the Bournemouth supporters there. There's quite a few worried looks on faces there. Of course, everyone's got to watch at home now. And it's a good job that the television deals have been redone just to get at least 25 of the matches that are left free to air. Of course, Sky are free to air in some of the games on their Pick TV channel. And of course, Amazon Prime will be free to watch as well. So there's 4 games on that. Hope we can pick out 1 or 2 of the Amazon games as well. Anyway, 3 kick. Callum Wilson fouled on the edge of the penalty area. Now, this is the moment. 82 minutes of the game have elapsed. And Bournemouth have a free kick in a very, very promising position here. If they can get 1 goal back here, this is the foul by Van Arnold and Wilson, and it was a foul. Although Wilson may have made a little meal of that, but nevertheless, it's a 3 kick. Now, Vincent Guaita has not really been tested enough, in my opinion, tonight. Now, if Bournemouth were to get 1 here, Dominic Solanke's up behind this one. Lerman might go with the left foot. And how he could do with a goal here, Dominic Solanke, at this moment in time, because, let's face it, since he's gone to Bournemouth, he just hasn't cut the mustard. It's the reason why Liverpool let him go. In fact, it's Junior Stanislas, sorry. So Junior Stanislas, the ex-Burnley man to take, possibly. Good player, very underrated, certainly in his days at West Ham. And certainly a good player when he was at Burnley as well under Eddie Howe there. Stanislas into the wall, poor free kick. Picked up now by Lewis Cook. It's a long ball into the penalty area. Aki's gone forward now as an auxiliary centre forward here in the closing stages of the game. We've got 1 vote for Jordan Ayew, 2 votes for Milivojevic. Still Milivojevic leading by the 2 votes to 1. No Bournemouth player yet selected. Quite frankly, I don't think they're going to get much of a look in here because they haven't played well on the night. Maybe David Brooks might get a vote or 2, but just about it from Bournemouth's point of view. A night like this, you could have done with that. Could have done with Dean Court being packed with 12,000 people here tonight, but here we know we've got some crowd noises in the background. It's not turned out to be Eddie Howe's night again, and there'll be a lot more. There'll be a lot of people. There'll be a lot of people now thinking now as he's taken Bournemouth as far as they can. Well, that will be the question here down on the south coast. Excuse me. They've got a throw-in now, in line with the edge of the 6-yard area. Can they produce something here? It's Steve Cook with it. Long in there. Aki jumps, and it's a goal kick. 2 Bournemouth defenders going for the 2 Bournemouth attackers going for the same ball. Aki was one of them. I think he was the one who made the contact with the header, which went well wide. And Crystal Palace can see it out again. This game actually makes a lot of history for BBC Television, who are covering the game live. Their first top flight fixture since March 1988, when the North London Derby was the last top flight match screened on BBC. Barry Davis was the last man to do a league game live, top flight league game live on BBC One. And and the BBC's commentator just above me, Steve Wilson. And Jermaine Genius doing a good job up there. Real card, in fact, for Steve Cook. As Bournemouth's frustration now starts to boil over a little bit now. Late challenge there on Jordan Ayew. And Bournemouth now looking down the barrel with 4 minutes to go of another devastating defeat, which will keep them anchored into the bottom 3. We're going to see another substitution. Riedewald, I think, is going to come on, number 44. As the free kick is taken there by McCarthy, short this time. And Townsend takes possession. Ball might be loaded in there. Townsend, number 10, has it far side, the right hand side, goes back. Riedewald, seen him 1 or 2 times. He's an exciting young player. This Palace side look a good side on the right. Him being the age he is. How long will we keep going? And Saha plays the ball in field again. Number 18 now. It's James McArthur. McArthur picks the ball up again. Townsend has possession on the far side. That's the dig out across. It's a corner kick to Palace. They're third of the game. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes for you to change the complexion of our supplementary man of the match vote. At the moment, it's going the way of Luka Milivojevic, who's actually been awarded the television man of the match award by Jermaine Genius. Anyway, here's a corner. And Palace go the cherries off with a third goal. They've gone into the corners already at this stage of the proceedings. Bournemouth win possession and get the ball away, but they've run out of pitch, and it's a throw in midway inside the Bournemouth half to Crystal Palace. Now we're going to see Riedewald come on for the Eagles. And it pushes Bournemouth into real problems now as McArthur is the man being taken off. Ayew has possession on the far side. Ball is lost, and now here's Jack Stacey. Has to get the ball in field now, and Lerma keeps his balance well. I think Lerma wanted to carry on there. The referee said free kick. I think it's been given against Jefferson Lerma. It's Crystal Palace. I have to say that looked a tough decision. I'm afraid him and his mates haven't really got into it tonight, Lerma. Palace have just been far too good in every department. And yes, Alex Scott, the old Rebels at it now. Yeah, Alex Scott's giving you a lift, is she? Where's my lift? I don't believe it. I do that hard graph for 90 minutes and he gets the girl. What's going on? Come on, Russ. Some guys get all the luck. But it's been great to be back now. It's, in all seriousness, it's been great to be back. And long may that continue. It's going to be a great summer of Premier League football. Maybe an unusual time to do it, and maybe unusual in certain circumstances, but that's the way we are in the world today. As we head into the last minute, and I can now confirm Luka Milivojevic is not just the television man of the match. He's also the JB man of the match, and we've got 6 added minutes. What's Russ said? Kelly Summers says she'll give you a lift. It's a shame Karen Carney's down there. I wouldn't mind Karen Carney giving me a lift as well, funnily enough. Anyway, back with the game. And here's Jordan Ayew on the ball now for Crystal Palace, who, if they stay out the next 6 minutes of stoppage time with consummate ease and just do the basics right, they'll bring about a very good professional 2-0 victory. A victory really, which when you look back at the context of the match, is a victory well deserved. 3 points which will put them in the mix now for not just the Europa League spot, but potentially a Champions League spot. Should the Court of Arbitration not rule in Manchester City's favour against their ban from Europe next season, they're still in the Champions League, Manchester City. I mean, they're leading 2-1 for Real Madrid. That seemed a long time ago as well. We covered that live on the JB Sports Network. And of course, if Manchester City will get through that, they go to Lisbon for a mini knockout phase, which would take in one-legged quarterfinals. Waitek coming for a line ball, and he takes it well. Callum Wilson actually shoved him to the ground a bit there as well. Well, that's high praise indeed from Alex Scott. One of the best female footballers of a generation. Maybe she could have a word with Karen Carney. She can come up in the gantry with me anytime. Karen, if you're listening, come on, I need a co-commentator. You could be the woman for me. Anyway, meanwhile here we've got a... Oh, now then, as Lewis Cook maybe put himself in a little bit of danger here. VAR can check these things. It is a sending off offence potentially. And I believe that the referee's checking with Stockley Park, and they are now. Is this serious foul play? Is it violent conduct? It's certainly violent conduct. There's an elbow thrown there. And this would be a real devastating blow if Lewis Cook was sent off here. And I think, has he been... No red card. Well, that does surprise me a little bit, because I have to say, I've seen red cards given for less than that. And I think Panini, our resident VAR expert, I think might be bang on the money as usual. But I don't think it matters, not anyway, because Bournemouth wouldn't have been able to get back in the game anyway. With the time left in the game, that's the 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. It's so academic now, really, when you think about it. Well, it's been good to be amongst you guys again. It's been torture not being able to communicate with you guys for 3 weeks, or for 3 months rather. But it's been worth the wait, and it's been a successful one. Might not have been the glamour game that we could have come back with, but at least it hasn't finished 0-0. And so far, in all our live matches that we've brought to you here on JB Sports Live Comms, we've only been able to feature 2 0-0s thus far this season, which is absolutely fantastic as far as the commentary is concerned and the games that we pick. And sometimes we pick the games on spontaneously and all that jazz, but the players have got to go out there and perform. And Luka Milivojevic, a double man of the match, would have been plenty of aspects now. We'll be very happy, and Palace are in the hunt for Europe. Thanks, Luke Caton. See you next week. See you during the week for more commentary, where you can listen to more commentary. Here's Jack Stacey. Bournemouth have just not been good enough. Last minute now of the 6. And I'm sure Stuart Atwell, who's refereeing, is actually been quite good tonight. I've had to show a few yellow cards as the game has gone on. But having said that, the 37-year-old from Nuneaton has done really well. WCC2 Gamer, hello mate, nice to have you with us. hit that notification bell, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to let you know when we're on next. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to Trevor Sports, please do. Anyway, here's a chance now for Stanislas in the last seconds of the game. 10 seconds, less than 20 seconds, sorry, to go. Now, Callum Wilson tries to play the ball in there. Can Bournemouth actually finish with a bit of a positive note? On a disappointing night for them. Eddie Howe knows that the game's up. I think he knew this a long time ago. Spits out some chewing gum and in frustration as number 19, Junior Stanislas, to take the corner. And it goes there, and it's up and down and away. Stuart Atwell hasn't checked his watch. I think he has now. He'll allow this attack surely now from Wilfried Zaha. And Smith getting back there. Gets it back to Aaron Ramsdale, who's been a little bit redundant in the second half, and he's letting 2 goals. This is going to cost Bournemouth the match big time here tonight, and a major setback. We're still playing on at the end now. We're into the 7th minute of stoppage time here at the Vitality Stadium. It's now 20-10 here in the UK, and it's Will Zaha now breaking towards the penalty area. Zaha, oh, he tried to be far too casual, but it got a deflection. It's a corner. Thanks, Panini. Anyway, we're playing 7 minutes now. We're playing a minute over the 6 that was originally indicated by our 4th official, which is Tim Robinson. But I've got to say, there's some sad news as well. And Russ is telling you that story. And the story here at Bournemouth tonight is that it's a win for Crystal Palace. They've beaten a very poor Brighton side, Bournemouth side rather, by 2-0. Now Milivojevic with the first goal, Jordan Ayew in the second goal, both coming in the first half. A routine victory then for Crystal Palace, who now move up into those places now. And what now for Eddie Howe? Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 2 is finished here. Right, before we go, let me give you a rundown of all the day's scores from around Europe, because I'm sure you're dying to know. Stay with us, because we haven't finished yet, because I want to give you the full-time scores. If there's any interviews, we'll bring them to you. But I want to... Eddie Howe looks a solemn figure. You just wonder, is he taking the club as far as he can? And that's the thing now, as both teams have a little giggle and swap shirts at the end of the match. So let's check the whole situation now. Oh, there's been a lot of football played around Europe, and we'll give you full-time scores and later scores as we got them. Right, so we'll start, of course, with the Premier League. Earlier today, we finished Watford 1, Leicester 1 in the early kick-off. At the 3 o'clock kick-off at the Amex, it finished Brighton 2, Arsenal 1. Some right shenanigans going on there. You can watch that on Match of the Day later. West Ham 0, Wolves 2. Good result for Wolves, and Palace as well, winning by the same scoreline as you just heard at Bournemouth. Here at Bournemouth. Championship, Fulham 0, Brentford 2. Great win for Brentford in that West London derby. Keeps their playoff push very much alive. Middlesbrough 0, Swansea 3. Tough times for Lee Bowyer's men. Fighting relegation. Millwall 2, Derby County 3. A big blow for Millwall's outside playoff chances. Blackburn 3, Bristol City 1. Huddersfield 0, Wigan 2. A setback for the Carley brothers. Hull 0, Charlton Athletic 1. A big win for Lee Bowyer's men in their battle to stay in the stay in the Championship. Luton 1, Preston 1. Draw doesn't do either side any good. QPR 0, Barnsley 1. Another big result that. QPR have been going well at home so far this season. Reading 1, Stoke 1. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Notts Forest 1. And West Brom go top by a point, however, having been held at home by their neighbours, Birmingham. German Bundesliga now. Let's just bring you that current affairs story from Reading. German Bundesliga, Cologne 1, Frankfurt 1. These are all full times, by the way. Mainz 3, Werder Bremen 1. Bayern Munich 3, Freiburg 1. And let's just hear from Luke and Bournemouth before we carry on with the late scores.
For you.
Yeah, you're right. Perfect night for us. We cannot imagine better beginning after a big break. So very happy for 3 points from clean sheet and very proud of the team.
How much confidence is running through this team at the moment? Because it literally looked like you were picking up where you left off.
You know what? We had 3 wins in a row, 3 clean sheets, and then big break comes. So it's not easy, to be honest, to continue that. But I think it's great tonight. We come away after 3 months not playing football to come here against a good team to play, to win 2-0. So happy, to be honest.
And of course, looking upwards in the table now as well. Is European football a real possibility?
You know what? It's possible, to be honest. We are not far from it. Last few seasons, all the time we are looking behind us, how it's going to happen. This time, we can say that. Look.
Well, that victory actually has put Crystal Palace in 9th place, so that's not Burnley into the bottom half, I'm afraid. But look at that now. 4 points now from a Champions League spot, Crystal Palace. That's very good indeed. Right, let's carry on with the other scores as we got them. So let's restart the German Bundesliga again. It finished Cologne 1, Frankfurt 1, Mainz 3, Werder Bremen 1, Bayern Munich 3, Freiburg 1, Schalke 1, Wolfsburg 4, Dusseldorf 1, Augsburg 1, Hertha Berlin 2, Bayer Leverkusen 0, Red Bull Leipzig 0, Borussia Dortmund 2. No Timo Werner, incidentally, for Red Bull Leipzig today. Paderborn 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 3, and Hoffenheim 4, Union Berlin 0. In the La Liga in Spain, it finished there's 3 full-time scores and the latest score. Espanyol 1, Levante 3, Athletic Bilbao 1, Real Betis 0, and Getafe 1, Eibar 1. And there's a current game going on at the moment in Madrid between Atletico Madrid and Valladolid. 44 minutes gone, it's still 0-0. And we've got a full-time and a half-time. The full-time score we got from Serie A for you is Torino 1, Parma 1, and Hellas Verona 2, Cagliari 1 is a later score. That's at half-time. Austrian Bundesliga, these 3 results, all full-timers, of course. Rheindorf 1, Meyer Wacker 1, Mattersburg 2, Spusbu 0, and Zaborski 1, Austria Vienna 2. I hope I got the pronunciations a little bit wrong there. I do apologise. Spanish League, Danish League rather. Orsens 0, Randers 0, and Aalborg 0, FC Nordsjælland 4 for both 4 times. In Greece, it's finished PAOK Salonika 3, OFI 1, and AEK Athens 2, Aris 2 in Greece. In the Norwegian League, Molde 1, Sarpsborg 0, Molde 1, Rosenborg 0. In the Russian Premier League, it finished Ural 1, Rubin Kazan 2, Arsenal Tula 2, Spartak Moscow 3, CSKA Moscow 0, Zenit St. Petersburg 4. But not. We've got 2 games to bring you. 2 games from the Swiss Super League. Nuttgau 2, Thun 1, and Sion 1, St. Gallen 2. That's in Switzerland. And finally, the Turkish Super League. Kayserispor 2, Göbekli 0, Denizlispor 1, Besiktas 5, and Maltaspor 2, Göztepe 1. Those are all with the results and latest scores from around Europe today. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. It's been great. It's been 3 months. It's been 3 months between our last match and tonight's match, but thank you to everybody for giving support to the channel again. throughout tough times. Thank you for all the nice messages I've received throughout. We will be back during the week next week, but it's been lovely to come back. It's been lovely to go on and do the notes before the game, and it's just been an absolute joy, and I hope you very much enjoyed it. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the notifications bell. Don't forget to tune into Trevor Sports as well, for his magnificent coverage of the virtual Euros 2020 taking place across England. I'm part of a fantastic commentary team there as well. And before I leave you, it goes without saying, everybody, and I mean everybody, Trevor, Panini, Ross, Sue, Chris, absolutely anonymous, New Caton especially because he's a young lad, please, 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 for the love of God, stay safe. We're still not out the woods yet with the pandemic. The social distancing is still very much in vogue at the moment, and we all hope that you are all staying safe and COVID-19 free. But the news here at Selhurst, at the Vitality Stadium, Crystal Palace moving to the top 10, above Arsenal and above Burnley, and are 4 points potentially off 5th spot, which could, if City's appeal fails, bring Champions League football to Selhurst Park. Wouldn't that be a bit special? Palace are winners tonight, and very good winners too. They go to Anfield on Wednesday, and it should be good fun. I'll see you in midweek for more live action. We'll let you know what games we're covering. We might be doing Liverpool against Crystal Palace yet. We're not sure, but we'll let you know via the Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/JB Sports YouTube channel. But until then, from me, JB, thank you very much to everybody, and I mean everybody, that's taking time to send us comments and do votes for Man of the Match. It's been amazing. And if you want to see more from me, I'll be popping up on Trevor's channel doing the Euros as well, the virtual Euros as well. So thank you very much for that. Until next time, have a fantastic evening. Enjoy Match of the Day tonight, and enjoy staying safe as well. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in midweek. And you'll also see me on Trevor Sports as well. All right then, take care. See you later. Bye-bye.